Hi, this is Trey Passer, and welcome to my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 10 called The Bridge. Okay, this one starts, I guess, where last episode ends, because I think it actually showed it in the last episode. But basically, the prisoner that we saw that the girl in the flowery dress went to visit. Okay, basically they show him getting, him eating in the cafeteria like before, and he gets, there's a big explosion, and these three super soldiers break him out of the prison, and they take him off. And of course, they see that these super, shields, gets the video of the incident, and they see that these guys have the centipede thing, like, Mike from the pilot episode. Okay, so basically they're basically trying to hunt down and find out, who this person. Actually, they do ID this prisoner, who was supposed to be this tactical person who killed somebody, and that's how he was in prison. So they're basically trying to track him down, and they actually identify one of the super soldiers, and they send Coulson and Agent Ward to interview his sister to find out where she can find out where he is. Okay, and in the meantime, Sky is still looking for her parents, and she thinks she's narrowed it down, but Coulson tells her, no, we got to go investigate this case, so put that on the back burner. I put Agent May on it, so she's gonna work on your problem for you. But in the meantime, let's concentrate on the issue at hand. And of course, at the same time, they say since they have these super soldiers thing, they're gonna go get some backup, and that's when they recruit Agent Mike. I got knows guy's name, Mike, the guy from the pilot. The first soldier that that was in the pilot episode. They get him played by what's this guy's name? Who was in Angel? Can't remember his name. But Mike, that's his name. I forgot the guy. J. August Richards, that's his name. J. August Richards. Anyway. They recruit him to come help, and of course, Agent May is not happy with this, of course, as usual. Okay, but anyway, in the meantime, they bring him on board, and they basically explain to you that the reason he didn't explode like the other people that got the centipede implant put on him is because he had got shot with the gun, and that stabilized the explosion and stuff in him. So that's why he was good to go. In the meantime, and basically he said he wants, he tells Coulson that he wants to do good and make up for, and be part of the team and stuff and be the best. Okay, so in the meantime, this, the prison that they broke out, him and the flowery girl are talking, and they talk about this character called the clairvoyant, who's you don't really never meet, and it's kind of heavily implied that the clairvoyant person is probably the money person, the person behind everything. And there's even a scene in the car where the girl in the flowery dress tries to, I guess, ask about the clairvoyant, and he basically tells her that the president says, "Listen, the last person who asked about the clairvoyant, I had to kill." So she said, "And I like you. You got pretty eyes." Okay, which is kind of a creepy scene all the way around. Okay. Anyway, so there's actually Ward and Coulson actually meet the sister, and they come up with a fake cover story telling her that her brothers won the lottery, and gives them the card, so please contact us. And of course, as soon as they give them the card and they drive away, she calls her brother. Of course, they're able to track where the phone call comes from. It's in California, so they have to go out to California to one of these operations, to where they track the phone call, and they show up and investigate. And then all of a sudden, these three soldiers break out, and they start having a fight with them. And basically, S.H.I.E.L.D. gets their ass handed to them, except for Mike being there to save them. But Mike kind of gets wounded. Okay, but they able to recover. Two of the agents escape, and the one super soldier is still there. He gets terminated literally. You see in his eyes, the thing goes off, and he literally they basically turn him off and or flip his kill switch, which I think is a good term. Anyway, they're healing up Mike on the plane, and and he says I don't think he'll be good for a couple of days. He won't be good, But they said no problem. We'll track these people down. Okay, and then at the same time, you also have a conversation with the flowery girl and the prisoner that escaped, and basically tells her that, listen, we can solve this, get to phase 3 of the program, because they noticed that Mike, he hasn't exploded. like the other people, so they want to know how S.H.I.E.L.D. stabilized, discover how S.H.I.E.L.D. stabilized him. Okay, and that's when the prisoner guy tells him, well, he could be part of Phase 3. Okay, so Mike is on a plane. He has a conversation with Coulson, and with Coulson's, he's basically telling Coulson that he hasn't been to see his son since since the incident in New York, because he said his son saw him act like a monster, and he's afraid to see his son. But Coulson kind of convinces him to pick up the phone and call his son. Okay, and in the meantime, also S.H.I.E.L.D. goes to there's two things that happen actually. S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent May goes up to Agent Ward and tells him, she doesn't want him to do what he did again. But basically, she says that he took a punch for her. Yeah, even though they're friends with benefits, he should never do that to her. Yeah, not out in the field. And he goes, listen, I wasn't trying to do that. Get over yourself. I wasn't trying to. I know you're faster on your feet than me, so And then he walks away, which kind of leaves a red face. And then also, at the same moment, S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in and basically tries to ask, May. She tells May that she knows Coulson said that you're taking over her case to look for her parents, and basically Agent May tells S.H.I.E.L.D. to grow up. We're on a mission, okay? And the mission is what matters now, okay? They tell him basically to grow up. And then you see S.H.I.E.L.D. go into her a little room and rip up the papers and start crying. And then Coulson tries to, attempts to, like he's going to go to see her, but then he flicks. But then they flash back to the where Mike is. He calls up his son and tells him, that he's coming to see him and he's happy. Yeah. And then at the same time, his son tells him that I met a new friend. Okay. And then of course it's the girl with the flowery dress. She has his son. Okay. And then basically the next scene is you see Coulson telling them that they have Mike's son and that they want to exchange his son for Mike. Okay. And basically they're gonna probably put a tracking device on him that's by scent, so no electronic devices and stuff. So that way they're supposed to meet at a rendezvous point at a bridge. Okay, so it's just supposed to be Coulson and Mike, walking to one side, and the girl with the flower just coming with his son and her super soldiers, of course. And then you see Agent Ward. He's up at a vantage point, with his scope rifle, and Fitz and Simmons and S.H.I.E.L.D. are in a van monitoring everything. And they come up and meet, and then he says, and then actually Mike grabs the fly girl by the neck and said, listen. I guess he tries to change the deal by grabbing her by the neck, but she tells him, listen, it doesn't matter. If you kill me, it doesn't matter. They're going to kill your son automatically because I'm not that important. Okay, so he lets go, and then she said, you know what the deal was. And basically, Mike tells Coulson, I'm sorry. The deal was I give up you for my son. Okay. And Coulson said, I understand. He said, don't worry, we'll make this right. And basically, they're going to take her. They bring out his son, and he takes his son, and he walks away, and then they take Coulson. And then Mike runs up to S.H.I.E.L.D. and says, here, take care of my son. I'm going to make this right. And then you see him run back. And in the meantime, also, I should also tell you that there's like a truck in between, so Agent Ward can really get a clear shot only at certain points. And anyway, Mike runs back to try to, I guess, rescue Coulson when you see the truck explode within a minute. It looks like he gets killed. And then also you see the truck, you see the car that they got into on the bridge, that explodes as well. And then you see a helicopter start rising up, and then you see it taking off, and then a Ward is looking at it with the scope, and then they start firing on him, and it looks like he gets hit because you see him go down, and then you see everybody with the shocked faces, thinking that Mike's dead and Coulson's either he's dead or he's being more likely he's being taken away in the helicopter. Okay, and that's how it ends, which I thought was a pretty good episode. And this was pretty good. I hope. Well, Coulson ain't dead they show you a little preview of the January 7th. I think you gotta wait for the next new episode, episode 11. I don't think Coulson's not dead, of course, because they took Coulson for a reason. And I think they even say the lady said because they even show. I think they show. I'm sorry, let me back up a bit. They show Coulson in the helicopter, and when it comes back from commercial, and she goes, "I want you to tell me." Well, he said, "But you're never gonna get what you want And she said, "Well, I want you to tell me what happened after he died." Basically, that's how it goes off. And then they showed a preview of the upcoming, upcoming episodes for the season. Okay, and I'm hoping that Mike ain't dead, but you never know with these people. Hopefully he's not dead. I mean, it looks like he died because he ran back, to try to save Coulson, and then the truck exploded, and looked like he was caught up in it. Okay, so, but hopefully maybe he's not dead. Okay, but anyway, this was a good episode. I think I would give this episode an 8 out of 10. This one's pretty good. Okay, there were some good, funny moments too, where with not Fitz, was it Fitz? Simmons. I think it was Simmons when she was measuring Mike, and she was making all these inappropriate remarks, which I thought was kind of funny. And also there was also, you got good moments when Coulson was talking about like from the Avengers, the cellist that he was singing and stuff, and Ward was, he was talking to Ward when they were driving to see the sister of one of the super soldiers, and basically I think Coulson and I think Ward even says to him, "What about somebody in S.H.I.E.L.D?" And he goes, "Well, no, that's a disaster waiting to happen," which means him and Agent Maida together is going to be a disaster. That's, I guess, their subtle way of saying that. And they kind of hit in the previews that they're finally going to resolve what happened when Coulson died. Okay, it looks like they're going to actually show it. Okay, so instead of talking about it all the time, so that's good. Again, I give this episode an 8 out of 10. This is pretty good for I guess, a mid-season finale. This is pretty good. Hopefully, Agent Mike's not dead. I love J. August Richards. He was good as Agent Mike, and I think he'd be good. I know they're supposed to recruit 2 new members to S.H.I.E.L.D., and I think he would be good as an occasional guest star on the show. You got somebody good. I think that's what S.H.I.E.L.D. needs. You need at least one member. I think with superpowers would be good. That would be good. And Agent Mike could be that guy. I think that would be good. That way you can add a little bit more color to the show, and I think it would work. And J. Richards is a good actor and good character for the show. So anyway, and he has good chemistry with all the other characters. Okay, anyway, let me know what you think of episode 10, The Bridge. I thought it was pretty good, 8 out of 10 for me. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.